So as we have decided, so we'll be starting with unit number 6. Which is based on clustering. Okay. Okay, so way back in our early classes, we have studied different types of machine learning algorithms, that is supervised learning, unsupervised learning, semi-supervised learning and reinforcement learning, right? And we can compare these two approaches based on the data we have, right? So in supervised learning we have labeled data which is in the form of xi, yi. Okay, this I is varying from 1 to n. So if you have n samples, okay, so you have input data and output data. So yi are the labels, okay, actual class of that instance, okay. And in unsupervised learning you have unlabeled data, okay. You just have the input reading, you have the reading of the observation. So you have just xi set, okay, I varying from n 1 to n, okay. You don't have labels, okay. So how to find a pattern in that? So simplest approach that we can have is the clustering, okay. So consider you have two-dimensional data. Two-dimensional data are easy to plot, that's why we go with that, okay. So xi will have two readings, okay. So xi x will have two readings, x1 x2, okay. Let's say 4 2 3 6 5 1 6 6 3, okay. And if you plot these points, so in this two-dimensional data they will be like this, okay. And clearly they have some relationship, okay. So these points are forming one cluster, these points are forming one cluster, and these points are forming one cluster. And in other word we can say that these points which are falling in this cluster exhibit different behavior as compared to the point which are here, okay. Consider height and weight, okay. So they are tall and healthy people, okay. This cluster defines short and lightweight people. These are shorter in height but obese people, right? So they exhibit some behavior. So based on this unlabeled data we can draw some conclusion, okay. And we can find a cluster based on the their placement, okay. So the points which are closer will be assigned one value, okay. Let's define. So we'll be assigning a c1 label to all the points falling in this cluster, c2 c3, okay. So this is how a clustering works, and we'll be studying the simplest clustering algorithm today, that is k-means algorithm, and we'll be studying through one example. So first let us see the algorithm. K-means algorithm. So first try to understand the name of this algorithm. K-means means what? Mean means average, right? So you have, so in this example you have three clusters, right? Okay, so we will have one mean for each cluster, okay. That is the centered of that cluster. It will be at the center location of that cluster. So that k represent number of clusters, okay. So you have k means, okay, k means, okay. the cluster, sorry, centered of k centered of the all the data points. Okay, so for this example we will have three means which will be at the center of each cluster. Three means, right? Okay, so you have k means algorithm. The first step here is initialize k value. Okay, initialize the k, which is the number of clusters that you are aiming for, number of clusters. Second thing is select, so you set the value of k, then you select k random points from the data and treat them as the centroids of the clusters, as centroids of the clusters. Okay, and let's denote them by m1, m2, mk. Okay, m stands for means actually. Okay, so you can either call them means or centroid. Okay, then next one, repeat until no change in mi. Okay, if your mean doesn't change, then you stop. Okay, repeat following steps until there is no change in mi. Means if there is no change in clusters, then we will stop. Assign all the points to the closest centroid ci and recompute ci. That's it. Okay, so this is our algorithm, and we will be performing this algorithm, we will be applying this algorithm on this example, and then you will have a better idea about the k-means clustering. Okay, how clusters are formed and how the data points are grouped. Okay, so now what is the question? So this is a question for 6 marks from DBAR to 2019 paper. So given that the observations, okay, so sample, points, observation means the same thing. Okay, observations are already clustered into clusters C1 and C2. They are already clusters randomly as shown in table. Okay, so this is the data points belonging to C1 cluster and C2 cluster. These are just the labels, observations A, B, D, okay, and CE. So 5 observations are given. Their values are given. Okay, so they are 2-dimensional points. So we have x1 and x2 readings. The question is, apply k-means clustering algorithm to find and plot initial and final distribution of observations in C1 and C2. Okay, so you have to plot these points, that would be your initial distribution. Okay, then apply k-means clustering algorithm. So there will be updation in the grouping, and at the end you show the final distribution of the observations. Okay, so the problem is clear to you? Okay, so if you see the k-means algorithm, initialize k. So in this problem, what will be the value of k? Initialize k, number of clusters. K is number of clusters. It is already given, right? So there are 2 clusters. So value of k would be 2 for this problem. Okay. Next thing is, in the algorithm, Select k random points from the data as centroids of the clusters and denote them by m1, m2 and mk. Sorry, here it should be m. Okay. Select k random points from the data as centroids, okay, and denote them by m1, m2, mk. Okay, this is also given here. Okay, so in the data set the distribution is also given. Okay, so from there we can find the centroids of that clusters. Okay, so we'll be taking the average of x1 reading and x2 reading. That would be our coordinates of the centroid for cluster 1, and similarly we will do for cluster 2. Okay, so we'll get the coordinates of the centroid. Okay, then we have to go in iteration. Okay, then you assign the data points to the closest centroid. Okay, and then again recompute the cluster. Okay, so let us solve this problem. So I have the problem here. So this is the question paper. Okay. So they are interested in initial distribution of data points. Initial distribution of the observations, they are using observation term, is as shown in the graph. Okay, so let us use the graph paper for plotting the points. Okay. Do we have any negative reading? No, right? Okay, so just plot these points. So coordinate of A is 2, 4. Okay, so we have maximum 9 in the x direction and 5 in the y direction. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, these much are sufficient. The coordinates of A point is 2, 4. 2, 4. Okay, so this is my A point, 2, 4. Then B point 8, 2. 8, 2. So this is my B point, 8, 2. Then D point 1, 5. 1 and 5. This is my D point, 1, 5. Then C 9, 3. 9 and 3. This is my C, 9, 3. Then E 8.5 and 1. That means this one, right? E 8.5, 1. Okay, now we have our initial distribution, and from it is clearly visible these 3 points should form one cluster and these 2 should belong to one cluster. But what is the distribution given? A, B, D belongs to C1. Okay, A, B and D, okay, they belongs to C1 cluster, and C and E are belonging to the another cluster. Okay, so you have to regroup these clusters. Okay, so that is the initial arrangement given. Okay, so initial distribution is over, and so we have a cluster of these 3 points. So this is my C1 cluster, and this C1 and C and E are forming C2 cluster. So this is the initial distribution given. Okay, and we know the answer from this graph. It is clear that now B, C, E should form one cluster. Okay, so let us prove that mathematically. Okay, so we will be applying our algorithm. Now first step is over, that is the initialization of k value. Okay, k value is 2. this random point allocation is over because it is directly given in the problem. Second one is assign all the points to the closest centroid mi. Okay, so let us find out the centroid of these clusters. Okay, given cluster, ये जो क्लस्टर दिए है C1 एंड C2, इसका सेंट्रॉइड फाइंड आउट करते हैं. ओके, सो centroids M1 and M2 of given clusters can be calculated as M1 equals to M1. So in cluster 1, yes, in cluster 1, okay, M1 is the centroid of cluster C1. Okay, so you calculate the average of 281, that would be the x coordinate of M1. So 2 plus 8 plus 1 divided by 3 divided by, okay, that this is the x coordinate of M1, right? And the average of 4 to 5 divided by 3 will be the y coordinate of M1. Okay, so calculate this. So 11 by 3 divided by 11 by 3. Okay, so the answer is 11 divided by 3, 3.67. Sorry, 3.67. Okay, so this is the coordinate of centroid of cluster 1. Okay, and in the graph where it lies, see, it should be in the center of this cluster. 3.67. okay, that means around here, and 3.67. okay, so okay, so this is my M1. okay, these 2 points are closer. Okay, that's why this centroid is little bit shifted to the left side. Okay, and similarly, so this should be the M2. Okay, so let us calculate mathematically. So this is my M1, and M2 would be the average of, okay, so its x coordinate will be average of these points. 9 plus 8.5 divided by 2, 3 plus 1 divided by 2, okay, which is 9 plus 8.5 divided by 2, 8.75 and 2. okay, so plot this point. 8.75, yes, 8.75 means this. Okay, and 2 here. Okay, so this is the centroid of cluster 2. Now next step is assign all the points to the closest centroid M1. okay, closest. अब closeness कैसे find out करना है? So we need a distance formula, right? So see the graph. So we'll be calculating the distance of A from M1 and M2. So clearly A is more closer to M1 as compared to M2. So we'll assign A to this cluster. Okay, so we have to calculate the distance, right? So do you know the formula of distance? Distance formula. Okay, so if I have A x1 y1 and B x2 y2, so what is the distance formula to calculate distance between A and B? Euclidean distance formula. Anyone?
x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square.
Yes, x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. This is known as Euclidean distance formula, right? Okay, so calculate that. Okay, so we'll be doing in a tabular manner, so it will be much more easier to analyze. Okay, so you have m1, its reading is 3.67, and m2 whose value is 8.75 and 2. Okay, and you have a, b, c, d and e. Okay, a's reading is 2,4, 8,2, c is 9,3, d is 1,5 and e is 8.5, 1. Okay, so okay, so now use the distance formula to calculate the distance. Okay, so we are finding all possible distances. Okay, a from m1, a from m2. Okay, so put the values. So difference, so 3.67 minus 2, okay, and square of that plus 3.67 minus 4 and square of that, and square root of answer 1.7. okay, similarly do it for other points. Okay, 8.75 minus 2, that is 6.75 square plus 2 minus 4, that is minus 2, square of that, that means 4. Okay, and square root of answer 7.04. okay, and I will be filling. So I have the values 4.64, 0.75, then 5.37, 1.03, 2.98, 8.31, 5.5 and 1.03. okay, now just try to analyze this table now. Okay, so now this value represents distance between a and m1. So clearly a is much closer to m1 cluster, right, as compared to m2. Its value is higher. Okay, so we will update the cluster. Okay, now m1 represents a centroid of cluster 1. Okay, so now a should belong to c1. Now the smaller value here is this one, right, 0.75. so this b should belong to c2. Now c, the smaller value is this one, so c2. d, it is for this one, that is c1. e, the smaller value is for cluster 2, so this point should belong to c2. Now see whether any updation happened or not. a, it was previously belonging to c1. See, a was in c1, now it is also in c1. Okay, no change for a. b, it was in c1, now it is belonging to c2. c, it was in c2 and okay, now it's also in c2. d, it was in c1, again c1. e, it was in c2 mein tha, okay, it is in c2. Okay, one updation happened. Okay, that means you have to go in the next iteration. Okay, as there is a change in clusters, okay, recompute mi. Okay, that is our step number 2, right, in the iteration. Recompute mi, assign all the points to the closest centroid. Okay, so we have done with the help of a table, right, assign किया हमने. Okay, based on the closest यानी हमें distances चाहिए थे, so that's why we have calculated the distance. और हमने असाइन किए पॉइंट्स टू द क्लोजेस्ट clusters. Now recompute mi. So we have m1 representing a centered of cluster 1. Okay, in cluster 1 you have 2 points now. Okay, c1 c1, which is a and d. So x coordinate of m1 will be average of their x coordinate. Okay, and 4 plus 5 divided by 2, so 3 by 2, that is 1.5 comma, so 4.5. Okay, this is the centered of cluster 1. m2 will be, okay, in m2 is a cluster centered of cluster 2. In c2 b c e are there. Okay, so take the average of their x coordinate 8, 9 and 8.5 divided by 3, 2 plus 3 plus 1 divided by 3, and value is 8 plus 9 plus 8.5 divided by 3, 8.5 comma, this is 6 divided by 3, that is 2. Okay, and if you try to plot this now, okay, but okay, complete the calculations. So you have regrouped the clustering. Okay, so you have to go in iteration number 2, again you reassign. Okay, so you have updated m1, that is 1.5 comma 4.5, m2 that is 8.5, okay, and updated cluster and the data points. Okay, now again calculate the distance and see whether any updation happened or not. Okay, so calculate the distance using the same distance formula. Okay, so let me write the values. Zero 0.707, 6.8, 6.96, 0.5, 7.64. So you can cross check these values. Okay, now assign the data points to the clusters. Okay, so A has least distance for cluster 1, so A will be assigned to C1. Okay, B has less distance for cluster 2, so C2. C has less distance for C2, C2. D has less distance for cluster 1, okay, C1. Then it has less distance for cluster 2, C2. Now you have to compare the two iterations. So any change happened between these two iteration, C1 C2 C2 C1 C2, C1 C2 C2 C1 C2. Okay, there is no change, so this is our stopping criteria. Okay, and we will stop. And if you plot these points, so as expected, A and D belong to cluster 1, okay, and other 3 are belonging to the cluster 2. Okay, 1. Okay, so if you got the concept, then these problems will be very easy. Okay, there are simple calculations. So the coordinates of A is 2 4, 2 4, this is A point, B is 8 2, 8 2, C is 9 3, 9 and 3, D is 1 5 1 5, E is 8.5 8.5 and 1. Okay, and plot the centroids that we have got. Centroids are this one, 1.5 4.5. Plot it, 1.5 and 4.5. This is my M1 with 4.5 8.5 reading. Okay, and M2 is 8.5 2, 8.5 and 2. Okay, and so this is my cluster C1 and C2. Okay, so k-means algorithm works, right? Okay, so as you go on doing the iteration, okay, so there will be regrouping of the clusters. Okay, their centroid will shift, you recalculate the centroid, again you reassign the data points to the closest centroid, again do the same thing. If there is no updation in the centroid, that means you have reached to the stopping criteria of the k-means algorithm. Okay, any doubt? Okay, so now we'll be solving the second question. Just try to understand this problem. Okay, so now what is the change here? Anyone? Any change in the data? So we have one dimensional data here. Okay, and what change it will make on our distance formula? One dimensional data है, ऐसा है, right? Okay, so we have, if I have 1 and 3, so what is the distance between these 2 points? 2, right? Okay, and if I so distance between 1 comma 3 is 2, whether it is minus 2, no distance. Okay, वहाँ पे quantity चाहिए, so simply I can take x1 comma x2 and mod of that. Okay, so here our distance formula will change. So distance between A and B will be, now it is one dimensional. Okay, so x1 minus x2. ओके, ये x ही कोऑर्डिनेट है, इसको एक ही y है ही नहीं, राइट? ओके, सो x1 इज द x कोऑर्डिनेट ऑफ A, x2 इज द x कोऑर्डिनेट ऑफ B. You take a difference, okay, and mod of that. So that distance formula you have to consider. Okay, and this is the original split initial distribution of the data. So you have two groups, their centroid is also given, and the distance function that we have to use is the Euclidean distance. Okay, but how Euclidean distance will vary? See, for two dimensional, okay, distance formula is this one. For 1D you will have only one coordinate. Okay, so square root and square will cancel out. Okay, and you have to take a mod. Okay, because we are interested in the value. Okay, the distance value. Now see the initial plot. So you have 2 4 10 12, then 3 20 30 11, okay, and 25. Okay, these are the data points given, and M1 is 2. Okay, so you have 2 as the data point, and M1 is also 2, okay, which is here, and M2 as 4. Okay, we have data point with 4 value. Okay, so m1 is equals to 2, m2 equals to 4, and the data points, and calculate the distance. So it is just a subtraction. Okay, so 2 minus 2, that is 0, 4 minus 2, that is 2, 10 minus 2, that is 8, 12 minus 2, 10, and so on. Okay, 4 minus 4, 2, 10 minus 4, 4 minus 4, 0, 10 minus 4, 6. Okay, calculate the distance. Okay, and you have to take a mod. Okay, so if you get minus 6, make it 6, then reassign the cluster, assign the data points to the nearest cluster. Okay, so here between C1 and C2, okay, A1 is closer to C1, okay, cluster 1. Okay, so you assign that level. Okay, so now A1 will belong to C1, and so on. Then, so once you have assigned the data points to a cluster, then value of m1 and m2 will change. Okay, you have done the regrouping of the data points. Now out of this data point, 2 points are belonging to cluster 1, A1 and A5. Okay, so you take average of that. So 2 plus 3 divided by 2, 2.5. So this is the new value of centroid 1. Okay, similarly for centroid 2, that is 16. So see this change. m1 was at 2, okay, वो 2 पे था, now it is shifted to 2.5, और m2 4 पे था, now it is shifted to 16. okay, 16 पे चला गया वो. okay, you will go in a iteration number 2. okay, now m1 m2 values है. okay, हमारे पास data points भी है. you again assign this data point to the closest cluster. Now see the change. Now previously there were only 2 points belonging to cluster 1, now there are 3 now. okay, 3 है. So again, as there is a change in the cluster, you recompute clusters values, okay, centroid values. Again there is a change in m1 and m2 value. We have to go in iteration number 3, calculate the distance, assign the clusters. So there were 3 points belonging to cluster 1, now we have 5. okay, so you have to go in iteration number 4. okay, and there is again change in the cluster, go to iteration number 5. okay, and if you compare this 2 iteration, okay, so 3 points are belonging to cluster 2, and iteration 5 also has 3 points only. There is no change in the clustering, so there is no change in the clusters, so algorithm terminates. And now see the picture. A6, A7 and A9 with 20, 30, 25 are belonging to cluster 2 and others in cluster 1. And if you see the plot, it was quite clear from the beginning that these 3 points should belong to one cluster and these 3 points should belong to one cluster. okay, so at the beginning itself you know the answer, but you have to prove mathematically. okay, and if you don't get that distribution, that means you have done some mistake in the calculation. okay, so you just cross check your answer and you will get the expected result. So any doubt? So only change here was the data was one dimensional, and that made our calculation much easier. okay, any doubt?